stick it yonder for the chickens. Hey everybody. So, I might get to take a walk. Chris is gonna plow the driveway and while I'm taking care of the chickens. And then hopefully we'll see what happens and we'll maybe get to take the doggies for a walk. Morning, hey Janine, Cynthia, Mr. Money, Shelby, Heather. Good morning, guys. Let me get some chicken watters going. And let's set the goal. I got another egg yesterday. Super happy about that. So maybe it's not a fluke. Maybe. I'm thinking they might be. And now I'm like, okay, is one laying every day and one of them is every other day, or two are laying on one day and there's one out of sync and she's laying on the other day? So I don't know. So let me set a goal for 10 super chats in the next half hour. Super chat. We haven't hit a goal yet on YouTube, so that would be cool. All right, water time. Egg hunt. I mean, I'll look for eggs. I'm not opposed to it, but I did have another egg yesterday. I went out 11 a.m., 1, and then at 3. And when I went out at 3, there was an egg in there. So I'm gonna back it up to 2:30 because when I went out there, the egg was cold. So she probably laid it between it was cold but not frozen. So I'm guessing it got laid between 1:30 and 2:30-ish. So kind of figure it out. And then also, we'll see if there's an egg in there now, because then that would have meant somebody laid an egg after 3. So anyway, I'm just trying to find the best time in the winter to check for eggs so that I get fewer that are getting wasted. You know, they don't get really wasted. Hi, Mike. Because if they're cracked, I'll just cook them and feed them back to the chickens. But still, I want the eggs for me, so. All right. I'll bring my little egg basket in the off chance that we get to use it. I'm guessing no, but. I am a very rich man from India. You will be my wife. Cook me many delicious Indian dishes. Yeah, okay. Did you see how fucking white I am? We were talking about Hang the other day, and I couldn't deal with the fact that it ruined a refrigerator for me. So sorry about that. That's not going to be happening. You might have a better chance interviewing women, being like, can you smell Hang? Is that something that you're down with? And if so, otherwise it's not me. It's not me. I had to throw that refrigerator away when I moved. Because after 4 years, it still smelled like Hang. I'm more whiter than you. That's pretty impressive. I'm fucking Scot-Irish, man. I burn like a motherfucker. So. How to guns legally. What? How to guns legally. Well, let's start by articulating our thoughts a little better. And then I can tell you how to do things legally if you have a question for that. So, it's a joke. Okay. Well, thank you. Need a Glock 19. Well, you can go to a dealer, someone who has an FFL, and you can get your background check done to purchase one. You have to pass the background check, and then you can procure one in that fashion. You also have to be over the age of 21, so in the United States. And also it varies state to state. Ooh, a hat would be helpful. Let's see. Blah. Okay. Let's check for eggs. Let's see. You're welcome. Where am I from? Originally Alabama, but currently I live in northern Maine. So let us go see the chickens. The chickens, baka baka. Chris is plowing the driveway. Boop. All right, thanks, Thomas. All right, everybody. Ooh, it's a beautiful day. Although just a second ago it was calm, and then a crazy wind came in and like was blowing snow around. And I was just like, oh boy, here we go. Oh, let me turn off the Wi-Fi. Boop. There we go. Look at that sky today. It's gorgeous today. My gosh. I love it. I love it here. Morning, Margaret. No, we're in northern Maine. I'm about 15 minutes from the border of Canada. So I'm humorous and informative. Thank you. It snowed last night, so Chris has got the plow truck out. He's building the Berlin Wall. So, has anyone told you you have big eyes and blonde hair before? No. No one's had to inform me of my blondness. So, thank you, Jim. Look at that sky today. That's news. Yeah. Oh, it is gorgeous today. It's 22 degrees. Ooh, feeling shoulders from the shoulder workout. Just lifting up my camera. I could sell my hair for cash for gold. Right. No, Pookie, I do not. Chamkins. All right, if it starts looping, let me know, guys, and I'll switch to TikTok. Oh, no. Oh, the wind must have blown open the coop. Poor babies. But you guys are smart and you didn't go out. Oh, no, that's not supposed to be open. All right. Must have been the huge wind that came through. My goodness. That must have startled you. They're smart, though. They're like, I'm not coming out of here. Mom gives us treats. She makes us snackies. She takes care of us. I'm so sorry, babies. Hang on. Let me set this up so I have my hands free. I know. And then one of the white Brahmas stepped out like, Mom! You wouldn't believe the night we had. So sorry. That's latched all the way. Can't be having my baby exposed to the elements. I'm sorry. There you go. Let me check for eggs. Hi. I'm so sorry. But did you lay any eggs for me? I know. Don't be mad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know. At least it wasn't like that for long. Obviously just happened because we got like 6 inches of snow last night. So it literally must have just happened. My goodness. They are pissed. They're like, Mom! How could you? Yeah, we gotta shovel over here today. All right, let me know if it starts looping, guys. Burr. Hi, good morning. Here's some more water. Here. Watch out. There we go. Water. Hi, baby. All right, how are we doing? Thank you, Cynthia. Stop saying good morning, but good morning. What? I could say good morning to my chickens. I talk to my chickens. Hi, babies. Good morning. Good morning. You know, when you tell me to stop doing something, man, I'm going to do it a lot more. Thank you, Deborah. Don't do that, because I'm going to do it a lot. Morning, Miss Ma'am. All right, I know, you're waiting for snacks. Any eggs? Anything? Anything? No? All right, well, make me some for this afternoon. It's warmer today. Thank you. Anna, thank you. Thanks, Yolanda. Thank you so much. The roosters are the ones with, oh, hi. Hi, ma'am. They have the fancy feathers. Good morning. It's very cold. I can't live in places. Oh, it's okay. Perth, nobody gives a fuck. Don't worry, I got your snacks. Are we doing good, guys? Oh, there's Chris with the plow truck. All right, so we're not looping, I'm guessing. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Good morning. Let's see. Yep. Feed is good, yes. Good. Excellent. Yesterday, well, I think it was because it was so cold. Ma'am. You're being very... Everybody's coming out today. Does this mean you're going to make me some eggs today? That'd be fantastic. I would love that. Thank you. Gotta have happy girls. What you doing out in there? Yeah, I bet you're going to come back in. Morning, Shauna. Good morning, Gail. She's thinking about it. She's like, I don't know if this was a bad idea. Ma'am, I guarantee you it was a bad idea. You wanna come back in? Yeah. So I don't think you wanna be out there. You wanna come back in? You don't get to help yourself in the bag, ma'am. Thank you, Grace. Come on back. Come on. It's cold. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Well, let me get you guys your feed real quick. I don't want to drop this on anybody. Not my girls. Not my girls. Yeah, fill up on your water. Oh, excuse you. She's like, oh, my bad. to get the food out first. Oh no, that's a stout. You okay? There's that. Power down. Power down. Excuse me, I'll get you more snacks. Just hang tight. Gotta have the snacks. Look at these ladies. All right. Thank you, Grace. I know. I love the little sounds they make, Ashley. Hi, Maria. Good morning. Would you like some more snackies? There you go. Come on over here, ma'am. There we go. This Beetlejuice. Oh, that was mean. So mean. No, I don't. Oh, no, I don't show. That's the chicken song. Or that's the egg song. Somebody's laying an egg. Guys, somebody's laying an egg. That's the egg song. It's Hen Stefani. Let's see if we can see her lay an egg, guys. Let's see. That's the egg song. Did you do it yet? Or no? Let's give her a second. So that's Hen Stefani. They sing that song when they're about to lay an egg. Yeah, they have a song. I'm sorry, did it interrupt you? Go ahead. Nobody's watching. No pressure. No pressure. I'll just close the door again. We'll just pretend you just go back to doing what you're doing, ma'am. We didn't see or hear anything. Oh, she's doing it again. Listen. She's like, Mom needs some privacy, please. Don't look, Mom. She went back to clucking. And then one of the white Brahmas went in to check on her. I think we'll hang out for a little bit. And when we see her come out, I'm guessing she'll have laid an egg. Let her do her thing. No pressure, no pressure. She just came out. All right, she just came out. So let's see if we have an egg. She came out and went straight for the treats. She's like, that made me hungry. Let's see. Oh, one of you just opened up the bag and is helping yourself. Like, how, ma'am. Ginger. Really? Here you go. Look at this. She's like, man, you're taking too long. Let me get in that fucking bag. All right, let me see if we have an egg, guys. Let's see if she did her work. You do it? Damn it. Nothing yet. Maybe we interrupted her. Pretty sure I interrupted her. She's like, I don't do it for audience. Not unless we see like 30 super gifts come through. I think that's definitely Hen Stefani. I think she might be one of the culprits. You guys want me to leave the door open today so you can explore? They're like eating snow. Even though I have water for you, I put fresh water out. So. Thanks for letting me pet you. God, you guys gotta see. This one that has her head in the bag. This one right here. She's like, oh, good Lord. Just leave the bag, man. Just leave the bag. Ma'am. Who is this? Who's got their head in the bag? Who is it? And so unbothered. Who is it? It's Ginger. Ginger. You're hogging all the treats. You are hogging the treats. I'm sure some of the other ma'am. Ginger. 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 Other people can have treats too. Thank you. Yeah. Look at you. Ginger. Wow. She's like, I don't fucking care. Let her have some. There's definitely Hen Stefani singing the egg song today. Look at them. Goodness. Let's see. How much is one chicken? It depends. Well, people, they sell them like egg laying age for like, I don't know, between $30 and $50, I guess. More if they're like show birds, but I don't show. Somebody had asked if I show them, which I appreciate. I'm very flattered that they thought they're show birds. No, they're just my ladies and my gents. So, ma'am, you're a little Aurora. She's like, you want more eggs? Give me the bag. Give me the bag. I'll leave the door open for you guys today if you want. Here's Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is the white Brahma that is mature enough to be laying eggs. Maybe if we say Beetlejuice, 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 she'll lay an egg. Here you go. Hello, sir. Hello, Henry. Hi, handsome. Hi. Are you waiting for Aurora to get her fucking head out of the bag? Yeah. Hi, girls. They're very social today. Let's see. Looks different there. It's a little warmer today. It's in the 20s. She is helping her out. No eggs, but one Hen Stefani was just singing the egg song. So I'm thinking we might have an egg this morning. Yeah. You guys just helping yourself today? Yeah. Margaret is sending you a bucket of snackies. Where'd Miss Hen Stefani go? Oh, she's right here. This is Hen. She was just singing the egg song. So, you got something for us? You got a little something? You got something? Got something in there? Let's see. Yeah, got a little something for us? Hi, Miss Ma'am. Hi, Miss Ma'am. Here's sweet girl. With the fluffiest buns. You got the boots with the fur. Got the apple bottom boots. What are you doing, ma'am? Really? Really? Would you like to cuddle? She's like, no. Uh-oh. Not a man. Oh. All right, let me get my bag. All right, well, make some eggs for me, okay? I'd appreciate it. I do enjoy eggs. Stop being mean, Nugget. Ma'am! That was mean. Good Lord. All right. Let me get my basket. I'll leave the door open if you guys want. But don't be laying eggs anywhere else but in your fucking coop, okay? Like, I'm not playing Easter egg hunt here. Not doing that. I'll leave the door open today, so I gotta come out and shovel anyway. No, that's enough. That's enough. No. Here. Here's some trees. There. That's all you get. You had the bag. You had the whole fucking bag. Right? I'll leave the door open. So, make me some eggs. I'll be back out around noon to check. Better be some fucking eggs. So. No, they have their block. I have it hanging right there, Deborah. So, you got that. You got a block. All right. I'll leave the door open so you guys can explore a bit in the snow, since you seem to like that today. All right. Oh. That was eventful. Found my fresh eggs dealer here, $4 a dozen. Nice. That's what I kind of figured I would sell mine for when we start getting enough. About $4 a dozen. That seems right. Of course Chris is outside in shorts. What the fuck is wrong with him? Look at the sky today. Look at that. Oh no, I mean, like, there's still the whole block sitting there Deborah, so it's all good. I've got hanging up. Probably slowing them down because it's frozen, but they do peck at it. So, thank you, Jim. Oh, nice. Nice, Ashley. Ooh, windy. Thank you, Jim. Last night was probably worse because I woke up so many times coughing so much that I actually had to sit up to make it stop. So I'm tired. But other than that, at least it's getting out of my system. Will do, Holly. Yeah, the girls just started laying a few days ago. Not all of them. I'm thinking between 2 and 4 of them.
Any eggers?
No, but Miss, are you getting ready for what?
Take care of cows.
Okay, I'll just stay here. No eggs, but Miss Hen Stefani was singing the egg song.
Eggs.
So, and then I opened the door and I think I startled her, and she's like, "No, I need privacy." So, yeah.
After this, I'm probably just gonna shower and get ready to go.
Okay.
I mean, the driveway looks pretty good as far as burr wall.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be up to you if you want to walk them or not.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just don't want to get down there too late because I don't know how long they're having set up for.
Yeah. Leave my gear on. I'll probably walk them after you leave. So do a little walk. Want some help?
Yeah, make my life easier.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So we didn't get to use the egg basket yet. Excuse you. No. But I think Hen Stefani, she's on the watch list now for eggs. Thank you, Jackie. Let's see. Oh no, we're in northern Maine, David. Hang tight, I gotta blow my nose. Ooh, and then Vivor, damn it. Vivor is sending me a incubator, so hang tight. I'm not going to incubate my chicken eggs because, man, I would hate to get another rooster. So I already have 3. Oh, thank you, Holly. I don't think we're at carton territory yet, so I've just been getting about 2 a day. It's a good start, though. So Vivor is sending me an egg incubator, and I have another company sending me duck eggs. So we're gonna try incubating some duck eggs, and I chose their golden 300 hybrids. So they lay between 200 and 300 eggs a year. So they're very prolific layers. And yeah, so, and duck eggs are like, delish, and they start laying around 6 months. So that would be nice. Real quick, let me clean up a mess that I see Tank has made because Tanker! Hang tight. Tanner gets mad if anybody goes out on the property without him. He will pee somewhere. And he didn't. So. Thank goodness I don't have carpet. Tanner. Thank you, Jackie. The Goldens are cute. Yeah. So I have 10 golden 300 hybrid duck eggs coming. So we're gonna try incubating some duck eggs. And they say that you get about 80% that will come to fruition in the incubator. So we'll try it. We're gonna see. Some ducklings would be cute. Please be females. Like, I know that they can't sext the eggs, but yes. That's what I'm hoping for. I'd be happy with 4 females, I think. I think if I got at least 4 female ducks, that would be fantastic. I love me some duck eggs. What's crazy is even the description, it was like, oh, this is how you make balut. I'm like, oh God, no. If you don't know what balut is, it's when they take the duck eggs and incubate them until day 17 so that they're almost ready, and then they eat them like that. Will I let Timmy out in the spring? So you could have another hot girl summer, maybe. I don't want to keep him from like his hot girl summer, but you know. I also didn't expect to be harvesting turtle eggs either. No, Chris is going down to the cows right now. I'm not going with them. Like, again, I'm still getting over everything. We're like divvying up at chores, but Chris is going to be leaving for the weekend. It'll just be me here. So you guys will be tagging along for chickens, cows, everything this weekend. So yeah, Chris is taking care of the cows. Thank you, Janine. So real quick, let me go pee while this coffee is brewing. You guys can watch the dogs. Time for coffee. I'll have coffee, and then after Chris goes, we'll probably go for a leg movement thing. I can't say the word. Is it cheaper to just buy your eggs at the store versus taking care of the birds? Okay, so it is more expensive up front to get started with chickens, but then over time it is cheaper to just have egg layers. Because a bag of feed, if you're just doing straight like scratch grains and stuff from the store, that's like $11. Let's say you spend $20 a month in food, and depending on how much you go through eggs, like you could do the math. Fresh eggs are healthier. The yolks are very healthy. Yeah, like when I cooked up the ones that I had the other day, they look nothing like store-bought eggs. Like, they are very dense and yum. It's just, you know what? Yeah, it is an adjustment. So, but getting started, like building a coop, having a run, I guess it just depends on what you do too, because some people just straight up free range, although you're gonna have predators and stuff like that taking out your flock. I don't know. It just depends on how much you put into it. Because I know some people that just make some makeshift coop out of pallets. So they, you know, like $100 worth of materials and blah, blah, blah. And the food. I have Brahmas. It's a larger breed. They start laying eggs later than some other breeds of chicken. So I didn't, let's see, mine are almost a year old. Mine are like 10 months old. My older girls are 10 months old. They just now started laying, and that's what I expected from them. There are some other breeds that will lay sooner. So if you're looking for more production, you would go that route. You wouldn't get the same ones that I got. I also got my Brahmas because they're cold hardy. They're made for extreme winters up here. That's why they got the snuffy boots on. So this just all depends on what you do. I gave up because of all the cleaning, poop every day. Well, I have a garden, so I use the poop for my garden. So I look at cleaning the poop as fertilizer for my garden. So did I get my whole setup at Tractor Supply? Yeah. So the coop and the interior run, that metal run that you guys saw, that was a kit from Tractor Supply. I got it on sale for like $900 and some. So if you play your cards right, you could get a really good deal on that. I think most of the time it's like $1,200. It's great to start with. I think you can have up to 12, I think it says 12 to 16 birds in that coop, depending on their size. I have 12 birds in it, and they're all in there pretty comfortably. However, I have found that I'm going to build a new coop for them and maybe make that the duck coop, because I would like a coop that I can walk into, because it would be easier for me to clean. Because right now, like, you could just kind of lean in and kind of clean it that way. I would like something that I can walk into and clean, and it would just be easier for me that way, just so I can get myself in there and give it a really good cleaning, because right now I feel like it's kind of cumbersome cleaning it out. So no eggs this morning, but Hen Stefani was inside the coop singing the egg song, so I think she's got one brewing for us. So I was gonna talk Honey into getting one. I do recommend it. I do recommend it. Just cleaning it. For me personally, like that one, I have no problems cleaning. Just me personally, I would like something I can walk into, you know, and get in there really get a good cleaning in. You could still clean just fine with that. I just want to walk in coop. So she pinched it off. Really stopped because of the mean ass raccoons kept trespassing. Oh yeah. So that's another thing, like predator prevention. I don't think anything is ever 100%. But what I did is I put like 1/4 inch, like I have the interior coop, but then I put 1/4 inch fencing over that so that raccoons and stuff can't get their hands through, and then it's buried down and underneath rocks and stuff so they can't dig under it either. Is it 100% predator proof? Probably not, but so far so good. Raccoons can be awful. Raccoons, weasels, fisher cats, ermine, any of those things, they could be terrible. And I think the most important thing is just making sure at night, every night, they are all inside the coop, closed up, so that even if they get into the run, they can't get into the coop. So, let's see. Actually, Rohit, that's not a pro tip. You're actually just giving people false information. That is illegal. You have to have an import license to do anything like that. And then also in the United States, you cannot possess a fully automatic rifle made after May of 1986. So you can own one that was made pre-May of 86, but it has to have a tax stamp on it. You have to go through the regular background checks and everything. So just so you know. So don't spread false information. Or I guess you could, but then you're doing something illegal. So we had raccoons digging this year, but they got too tired before they hit the mesh. Good for you. Awesome, Chelsea. The Ruger Mini 14 says otherwise. Yes, I have one upstairs. I have several. I have Mac 10s, Mac 11s. I have full auto AK-47s. I have a full auto Mini 14. I have a full auto belt-fed 1919. Trust me, I do know a thing or two about the laws, what you can and cannot own as a civilian, but also as a Type 702 manufacturer. So, yeah, we like to stay legal. But you said it as pro tip. You said you can when you cannot legally. So, is Doug the partridge still there, ready to pounce? Doug has produced. There's so many. Well, he's a grouse. He has produced. He has an army of grouse. So he must have found a girlfriend. Thank you, Texas. Morning, Steve. Can your husband or anybody hit the broadside of a barn with that auto M14? No. And I do love when we have full auto rental days. I love when people try, because my husband will be like, I'll give you your money back if you can even hit the silhouette. And like, there might be, out of an entire magazine, like a 30-round magazine, there'll be might be one in the top corner. The rest are like nowhere to be found. Texas, you might never get through the driveway. How long does it take to get a Type 7 FFL? It depends on where you live, because you do have to go through zoning. If you have zoning that wants to fight you on it, it could take months, it could take years. Thankfully, our previous location, as well as our current location, we had zero problems with zoning. So it only took a couple months to get our Type 7. So, but if you're living somewhere where they do not want FFLs, but also manufacturing, you're gonna have some issues. So, no eggs yet today. Yeah, probably Holly. But yeah, so actually this past summer we saw Doug walking around with babies. So yeah, there's a lot of them here now. So yeah, the first shot is all you're gonna get. Yep. And then after that it's just like, you know, it's spray and pray. Yeah, I'm from Alabama, which is very similar to Texas, and to, yeah, mind your own, you know. Yeah, it's a different country, Rohit. So Doug, yeah, isn't male. I mean, I'm sure there is a Doug to have the babies. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you for that super. Doug is, one of them is Doug. I think the one that attacked me is Doug. But there's been some ladies who moved in and they have expanded the operation. Pumped to get my new tattoo today on my ankle to represent my 1-year sobriety. Good for you, Ashley. Congratulations. Morning, Maggie. And thank you so much for that super, Ronald. I appreciate you. I'm just waiting for Chris to come back, because when he leaves, we'll go on a dog walk. I think that'll be nice. I'll take all my energy that I have for the rest of the day, but I'm pretty happy with the chickens. I got 1 extra egg yesterday, so it was 2 to the day before, 1 yesterday. A Doug army, yeah. Let's see. Have you been following that latest ruling, I believe in Alabama, about machine guns being covered in the Second Amendment without the tax stamp and stuff? I haven't followed it because, you know, kind of like the whole tax stamp situation. That's something that they keep introducing. Thank you, Sherry. Introducing, and then it gets tabled. It's something that they go back and forth on quite often. So I don't really start following things until like they start getting some real traction. Thank you, Jody, and thank you, Janet. Thank you guys so much for those super chats. Happy birthday, Carm. Yeah, we hear about all of the legislation and stuff that they try to put through, but so often it gets shut down very quickly that I don't really start paying attention until it gets past like House or whatever. What's the next gun on my wish list? I want a 5.7. That's my husband's go-to. The SIG XM7. It's a gun. I actually don't have anything on my wish list right now because I actually just completed my wish list fairly recently. I only had one gun left on my wish list, and that was the Ruger Alaskan in 454 as my daily. That's my going out in the woods gun, and I finally got it. So I am very fulfilled. Like I have my everyday. I have a thank you, Ashley. Thank you for that sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you, boss. So my everyday like out in town or like just on my person is a CZ75 SP01. But my out in the woods guns are, I have a Henry color case. It's a big boy color case in 45 Colt. And then on my side, I have the Ruger Alaskan in 454. You can also put 45 Colt through the 454, which is why those two like accessorize together really well, because you could just take out like 1 or 2 boxes of ammo of the same caliber. And yeah. What's the oldest gun we own? Probably one of the French Mosses. Yeah, probably one of those. They would be the oldest. Yeah. I went for a walk last night when it was still snowing. It was relaxing, but what a workout through the snow. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Walking the driveway when all the snow is still on it is that people will be like, why are you breathing heavy? Because I'm fighting for my fucking life here. Okay. Morning, Sarah. It is nice that we get to talk about gun stuff without being shut down immediately. So I would like, it was so hard to fall asleep last night because right now laying down makes the coughing start. And then I kept waking up because I would start coughing and hacking, and I would have to sit up to make it stop. Thank you, Steve. Steve just became an off-grid yuppie. Welcome, Steve the yuppie. So we have a new member. Just so you know, if you're new here, you can become a member of this YouTube channel. You can become an off-grid yuppie, a hot pocket, or a the Viper Pit. Yes, the highest form of membership is the Viper Pit. So thank you, Steve. Thank you for subscribing. Well, on YouTube, it's subscribing to follow, and then becoming a member with the subscription. It's thank you for becoming a member, Steve. Those people have probably never walked through snow. You're probably right, Philip, for sure. So you don't accidentally double tap those big bore revolvers under recoil? No. Thankfully, I haven't had that issue. I have pretty good control over my firearms. Thank you, Texas. Thank you, and have a great day. Glad you got to spend some time with us today, Texas 39. I go live every day at 8 a.m., so Eastern Standard Time. I actually have some money. Yay! I can't wait to get my incubator. I'm so excited to have like ducklings. Ooh, and I did want to talk about that while we're waiting for Chris to come back for the cows. So Vivor is sending me this egg incubator, and I'm thinking it's going to be pretty boring those first 20-something days. But once they start like hatching, I think I'll put a live feed because it'll be here at the house. So I don't need anything special. I'll put like a 24/7 live feed when they get close to hatching, so that people, if they want to tune in and watch the hatching process. And then they also have to stay in the incubator for 24 hours after they fully hatch so that they can dry off and, you know, they're good to go. So I'm thinking that's something we'll do. I think with the Golden 300 hybrid, it said about 28 days to hatch. So I think that's something that'll be pretty fun, is the hatching cam. I'm excited. I'll probably be like posted up in front of it because I want to be the first thing that they see, like imprint. That's my plan anyway. I can't wait, Gail. It's gonna be so fun. And it's funny because when I ordered everything, it was like, oh, if you're doing this for a classroom, I'm like, damn it, I wish that would have been my classroom. My classroom never did that. Never did that. Yes, exactly, Deborah. The closest we came is in the 3rd grade, my classroom had a class hamster. And every week, someone got to take it home for the weekend to take care of the hamster. I never got to because it got to Christy. Christy took it home, and when she came back Monday morning, it was dead. And like, so the whole class, this is crazy. The whole class blamed her for the hamster being dead. So she had 0 friends for the rest of the year. I'm not saying that's right, but like it really, the circumstances, it really sucks. We do ducks here, cows, colts, chickens, tadpoles, caterpillar. That's awesome. We are your class. Yeah, well, so you know what? This is what this is going to be. Class, we are going to hatch some ducklings. Yeah, so anyway, but Christy, I remember when she came to school that next Monday, she like sat at her desk with her head down most of the time, and everybody's like, you killed the hamster. And I was pissed because I always wanted a hamster, never got one. And I was like, yes, finally I get a chance to like hang with a hamster all weekend. And fucking Christy ruined it. And my teacher didn't get a new hamster. So like that ended that. Thank you, Mr. Money. Thank you for that sticker. You have a great weekend too, Mr. Money. I found out hamsters hibernate shortly after mine died. Goodness. Yeah, I think her parents definitely should have replaced it because like they're like $5 at the pet store. They should have replaced it because like that girl never lived that down, like ever. The rest of the year was probably hell for her because nobody wanted to be her friend. This is 3rd grade. Kids are fucking rough. You know, nobody wanted to be her friend because she ruined the classroom hamster thing. What is the better rifle for you? The Scar 17 or the Sim MCX Spear? If I had to choose, it depends on the application. Like, and if I got to choose, I wouldn't choose one of those. I would choose a surgeon. That's just me, though. Have you ever had, or do you ever worry that it could happen that you double tap those big bore revolvers under recoil? I have not. I've never had it happen. I think it just depends on the person, and usually the double tap from the recoil. And thank you, Philly girl. Thank you so much for that unicorn sticker, and thank you, Mr. Money, for the like. So what happens when someone double taps a big bore revolver is because they're limp wristing it. I hate to say that, but like that's what's happening. They don't have a good grip and they don't have like a solid stance. They are not locking their wrist. So what happens with that double tap is they're like me. And anxiety makes you squeeze really hard. So then all that recoil goes into your arm and then they feel that and then they squeeze harder, and that's where the double tap comes from. Me, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I have spent a lot of time around firearms. I've worked a lot with full auto. We build them. I shoot a lot of them. So I know not to be like, you know, like I'm not afraid of anything that I put in my hands. I know that I have to be in control of it, whatever that means. Like having a good grip, having a stiff arm, having a strong wrist. So if you're having trouble with that double tap, you need to work with some smaller calibers so that you can better anticipate the recoil that you're getting. Does that make sense? Let's see. My kids had a male and female, and then we had mini babies. Dad thought it was a fabulous idea until we had 25 hamsters and everybody in the family had new pets. That's funny. Let's see, let me put somebody in timeout and they'll learn what that means. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so the only time, if you think about it, when you see videos of people who do the double tap with big bore revolvers, it's usually when you have a shitty friend who puts that in the hands of somebody who doesn't know better. You know? That's usually, I don't find those jokes very funny. I don't think it's funny at all. I'm getting 10 eggs, Sherry. We'll see how many ducks we get out of that. I don't think that's a funny joke. You know, I think that's dangerous for everyone involved to put a high caliber weapon in the hands of somebody who's inexperienced. I have never seen that with someone who has experience with firearms, because even if you just have minimal experience, you only have ever shot like 380s, 9mm, stuff like that, you still know, and then like, let's say you bump it up to 45, you know that they all feel different. So I think people who even have minimal experience with firearms know that if you're gonna shoot a revolver that size, even 44 mag, you know that it's gonna kick a little bit, so you can prepare yourself. The only videos I've ever seen of people having that double tap is when people are thinking they're being funny and they're putting it in the hands of somebody who has no idea what to anticipate, you know? Does that make sense? I don't think that's funny. And I know people are doing it for the LOLs and for YouTube and whatnot, but that's just making a dangerous situation for everyone that's at the range. I've seen so many things at the range. That's why I don't like going to public ranges. You know, like, and you hear so many horror stories of people just like losing their life to someone who is negligent at a range. And I think doing that intentionally that's a huge red flag for me. If I saw that at a range, I would immediately boot them. So yeah, it's not funny. Just like when people hot load stuff and don't tell people, that's not funny. Yeah, like, and I tell you guys the story about the guy who did his hot loads with a large caliber revolver. I think it was, maybe not large. I think it was 357. I want to say it was 44 mag. I could be wrong, but he was hot loading, and the cylinder went through his chest, and the hammer went through the face of the person who was in control of the firearm. The guy that had the cylinder go through his chest, he died. So, not funny. That's just my opinion. A hot load. A hot load is when people manufacture their own ammunition. You could totally do that. You can make your own ammunition for your own personal use. You don't need any licensing or anything like that. You need like a press and all this other stuff. But each caliber, the weapons that are built for the caliber, they have a set of parameters that it needs to have so many grains of powder in each bullet, right? And a hot load is when people put way more than is necessary for that caliber, you know? And what that is, and so, because they like a big boom, you know? They like, we call them, oh God, recoil junkies. They like the recoil, they like the sound, it's like big and loud. Kind of think about guys that put shitty mufflers on their car. They're like, or the guys that change out their mufflers on their motorcycles so everyone could hear them. Thank you, Sherry. They're like, hey, look at me. It's that. It's just that. So you got these recoil junkies that do hot loads. But the thing is each weapon is only manufactured to take on a certain amount of pressure, right? Especially because there's a lot of polymer guns out there. Like my steel frame, my Ruger Alaskan, that could take a lot. It still has its limitations because remember, it was a steel frame revolver that sent the cylinder through the chest of that guy at the range. So everything is made to be able to handle a certain amount of pressure. And when people hot load it, well, now you're going above and beyond that. And usually at some point, you're going to have a catastrophic failure if you hot load something. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. So a guy was in here and he was asking, what do you do? He asked if I had ever had a double tap off of a big bore revolver, and then how do you prevent a double tap and on a big bore revolver? You know, when somebody will fire a revolver and they'll accidentally fire it again on the recoil. And my opinion is that they're limp wristing it.
Double tap on a revolver is uncommon.
Yeah.
Usually, I guess proper verbiage. So double tap is usually.
Meaning, you've seen the videos where they'll put like a 500 Smith & Wesson.
That's not a double tap. That would be considered a just poor handling of the pew pew.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is when they fire it and then on the recoil they accidentally
Pull the
squeeze.
trigger again.
Yes, exactly. I'm saying it's because they're limp wristing it and then they squeeze harder. You know.
Well, it's just natural. I mean, you think about the psychology behind it. So when
Exactly.
when you're in a fearful situation, what do? You tend to squeeze and tense up.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when a person's for the first time using a weapon, they probably underestimate the recoil.
Yeah. And that's what I.
And they don't have, like, to your point, they're limp wristed, loose grip, whatever, so that they're not really holding it properly. So when they go bang and it goes like this, they immediately
squeeze tight.
flight or fight psychology would be immediately tense up. So you go bang, and then as you're coming backward, you're like, oh my God, tense back up, and then you go bang again.
Yeah.
I was thinking when you say double tap, it's like when you're in it with the semi-auto.
No, revolver.
If the trigger's too light, or once again,
Yeah.
you could double tap too. I mean, with a rifle, and it's like
Yeah.
bang bang. But no, for revolver purposes, it's usually because the person's not prepared for it.
Yeah. And see, what I was saying was that usually, because people who know anything about guns and have fired them, that's not usually an issue. It's usually the issue when someone puts that in the hands of somebody who doesn't have
Unexperienced.
experience.
Yeah.
And just for funsies and for a good
And to me, that's my
element.
biggest pet peeve when you see
Yeah.
when you see these knuckleheads. Like, oh, let's give Susie Q or Joey, who's never fired one before, let's give him the Smith & Wesson 500 and watch him smash himself in the forehead.
Oh, God.
Well, not only will that probably happen, but you could also kill somebody because
Yeah.
just like you just said, on the recoil, you tend to tighten up and you end up pulling the trigger a second time.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. Lots of
I
times.
think that violent recoil is pulling the trigger finger off the trigger, resetting the trigger, and because they have a death grip on it, they're pulling the trigger again. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what we're saying.
And it being
so,
and
like, you pull the trigger, and then once the recoil starts going up higher than they anticipated, they end up squeezing their hands even harder instead of like driving the firearm forward, and that's where the second trigger pull comes in.
And it's not as common, we'll call it, with the semi-automatic or with the revolver for two reasons. One, it depends on the.
Well, he has specifically said big bore.
Yeah,
so
well, but I mean,
we're saying
there's
more pressure.
but there's a different kind of, the difference. I mean, because my wife knows the difference as well between a single action and double action.
Yeah.
So if it's a single action revolver, that can never happen.
Yeah.
Because the hammer has to be drawn back manually. Now, in a weapon that's double action or double action, single action, meaning that you can just pull the trigger, which will make the mechanism work its range of motion.
Yeah.
That's probably the only time it would happen. Once again, it comes down to inexperience and then proper explanation of how the weapon's gonna work. And then that's the part that scares me, because like when we train people, first and foremost, safety's first, but then trigger discipline is the most important thing. Gotta understand what this thing's doing all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're not certain of how that weapon's gonna react,
Keep your finger
keep
out of
your
there.
finger out of the goddamn trigger.
Steve said, a friend of mine double tapped on one of those 22 nail guns, and a nail gun jumped and broke his jaw.
I mean, it can happen with anything
Yeah.
like in this regards, but I guess the point of it is one, know the weapon you're using, whether it's a nail gun or a gun. If you're not familiar with, don't start off with the biggest, baddest one that's out there.
Right. Well, that's usually their friends being shitty
Yeah.
and putting that in their hands. But so Space, I'm amazed that there hasn't been a horrific outcome of that, like an exploding melon.
I've
honestly,
seen that. I've seen that.
I'm surprised you haven't heard more of that. There's that video of that girl that they gave her a 500 Smith & Wesson, and it literally came all the way back, and she hit her nose with it.
Fortunately, it was a long-barreled one, and the barrel caught the bridge of her forehead.
Yeah.
And it discharged, and the barrel was at least far enough high and out of her way, so it wouldn't. Because if it was a short, let's say it was a short little 4-inch one, it could have came back and then would have caught it right in the puss. End of the day, like we always tell people, even when we train people to go shoot their weapons, we would spend a minimum 45 minutes to an hour walking through the weapon, handling it, how it operates, because that's the problem. A lot of times these people will grab one for the first time, never use it, not understand the functionality of it, and then they go out and do something, and that's usually when something bad will happen. So if they understand how it works and the safety precautions that go along with it. So let's say you prep them. Hey, this weapon's got a lot of recoil, so make sure you put your shoulders into it. You lock your arms forward. If it does recoil, don't panic. Don't immediately grab the trigger. And it's a learning curve, and it comes down to, let's put it this way, and I said this to Kayla yesterday, and it had nothing to do with guns. It had to do with our truck. I couldn't get the thing out of 4-wheel drive. Guns, trucks, cars, everything in life. 99.9% of the time, it's user error. Not the weapon, not anything else. So to that point, the weapon didn't do anything wrong. It's just the person wasn't educated enough to use it properly.
Sammy, when I took my CPL class, it was my first time shooting a gun, and I'm grateful for that because I had no idea what was it doing. And that's how it should be, Sammy. Like, you should know, like, the ins and outs and everything, and every way you could fuck it up, and you need to know that before you have, like, a loaded one in your hand.
And that's the thing. So practice, training is by far the most important thing ever. And trust me, I've been around people that have been very experienced, very knowledgeable about weapons all their life, and still do something dumb. And here's another example too. So not knowing how the weapon's going to operate. We do a lot of machine gun rentals. We will explain to the customer in great detail on how the weapon's going to react. So we try to prep them beforehand that, wait, you need to get yourself in a position, wait forward, so on and so forth. And we still have people that don't want to pay attention to us. And that's usually when we revoke their ability to use them anymore, because they'll be, especially when we used to do it at an indoor range, they'd end up shooting the ceiling.
We had somebody shoot the wall too.
Yeah, we had somebody shoot the wall, shoot the ceiling.
Instead of going up, she went sideways, which is...
Yeah, so long story short, we even did all the preparation beforehand, but still experience is the most important thing. And there just comes a time where if you're not comfortable, say you're not comfortable. And we could practice with something smaller.
Yeah, so Space, talking about this reminds me of that little girl at the rental range with the Uzi. Yeah, that was a catastrophic.
Yeah, so there you go. You hand someone a full automatic weapon that was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And instead of prepping them properly, like let's say if I was dealing with a 10-year-old, I wouldn't be like, here's the gun, go shoot it. I'd be like, okay, hon.
But see, that's what he was doing. He was on top. So
I didn't know that.
The whole problem, you didn't see the video? The whole problem was he had his face down by her. And he was like, he had her shoot one or two rounds without full auto on, so just in regular, right? And then honestly, it was the verbiage. He said, when I flip this switch, it's full send, something like that. But I think in retrospect, obviously, he should have said, don't pull the trigger until I move. So he was still down here with his head right by the gun. He flipped the switch, and instead of her waiting, she just went full send, and she went full send right into his head.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no sheer 100% proof safety mechanisms, but you also have to understand people's ability to comprehend. And prime example, we had friends up here that had, a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old?
Yeah, something like that.
And the father wanted both of them to shoot them all. I was like, nah, I mean, I don't recommend it. I said, but you're the father, I'm not going to tell you no. But I will say this, they're not going to shoot the big stuff because they're hard to control. So to that point, I use my better judgment and let her shoot one of the full autos that were only 22 caliber. So it has zero recoil, zero nothing. Not to mention, I was in a safe position behind her, away from where the weapon was going to be fired. In the event something were to go wrong, I could literally fucking knock it to the ground. But it still isn't 100% foolproof.
Yeah.
And that's why you see a lot of these ranges too, which I agree and disagree with, but I guess since there's so many people with lack of common sense, you go to the range, they actually chain the gun. So it can only go like this.
Yeah.
So you can't divert it in a bad direction.
There's been so many accidents.
Because we've seen this too, going to the range. This is why we were very good friends with folks in Pennsylvania that used to own called the Cabin Armory. Thank goodness they used to let Kayla and I go and use a section of the range where no one would be. It was the only way I would go there. Because on multiple occasions, we'd be there, you'd be in a stall, getting ready to go.
Oh my God.
People would discharge their weapons fucking in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah.
Into the wall.
The two guys, they backed up with their shotgun, and they showed us the security cam footage. It was funny because they were right next to the lane that Chris and I usually use. They backed up because he was fiddling around with it. He kept stepping further and further back, and he turned just enough that he discharged it into the other lane. Thankfully, no one was in that lane, and he blew a hole in the wall with a 12-gauge shotgun.
Yeah, so I am very competent and confident in my safety skills and my abilities. Same with my wife. I don't mind. I could shoot all day long with her in tactical scenarios, doing whatever we want because we're very, very competent and safe. I don't trust anybody else. It's not that I mean, I want to be mean, but there's so many situations we've seen that were just downright scary.
But that day that, remember, I had I think it was the Mac 11, and I was holding it, and I kept facing it downrange, and something went wrong. I was like, what is going on? But I did, I turned to Chris, but I kept pointing my hand, or the gun at the target, and I turned to Chris, I was like, what is going on? And then it discharged. Yeah. I didn't even touch it. Yeah. It just went off. And I was like... It
had a horribly delayed primer, which I've seen that before. So she pulled the trigger. Nothing happened.
And I had enough time to be like, what is going on? And then it went off. And I was like, and that's why we always point the gun in a safe direction.
Yeah, and that's like safety 101. Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Even if you think it's unloaded, you always treat it like it's loaded. Because there's a situation, if you would have turned it towards me, you would have shot me.
And that was my first thought. I'm like, I'm so glad that I have the experience enough not to be like, what's going on? Because we've seen that so many times. I took a friend to the range, and he'd never shot, he had a revolver, he'd never shot it before, he was new to it, and he was kind of ditzy. So, I was standing behind him with his wife, and he fired some rounds at the target, but he couldn't remember if he fired 5 or 6. So he was like, I don't know how many rounds are left in it. And I was like, I'm sorry, I wasn't counting. So, and then he had an itch on the back of his head. So instead of taking his free hand and scratching the back of the head, he took the hand that was holding the gun, put it behind his head, and started scratching. So now it's pointing at me and his wife, and we're like, no. And I was like, and that's why I will never go to the range with you ever again. So, so that happens a lot. So,
and these are the kind of safety things that aren't just like a oopsie. These are the safety that could end someone's life. So there's really no coming back from it. So you got to. I'd rather be overcautious. Yeah. It's like insurance. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it than not have it. So I'd be overcautious, and then you have a fun, safe day versus taking someone to the ER and pull a bullet out of them.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of going to public ranges. I will, if I need to, practice or whatnot, like back when we lived in town, But now that I have the option to just go shoot out on my own property without other people around and not worrying about other people and what they're doing, I'm much more at ease.
Well, even,
you used to try to volunteer me to go to the range with people, and I'm like, nuh-uh.
Now, at least on our property, we have a range, and it's only her and I. I don't have to worry about the public. Because I've been at the state ranges, where it was outdoors, and my goodness, I used to go there with my son, because it used to be close to where my old house used to be. So my son and I would go, and he and I would go right when it would first open, because there wouldn't be anybody there. As soon as people started to come, I would leave. And the reason that being because there's a lot of rules and regulations when you go to state range. Proper going back and forth on the range. Everyone clears the range so that no one gets hurt.
Yeah.
No rapid fire, no large capacity, stuff like that. And every time I'd get there were people up there that were gangbangers.
Yeah.
And then they'd be actually shooting as I'm walking down. I would say, hey, everybody clear to go down range. Check targets. Yeah. Okay. I'd be walking down range. All of a sudden I hear bang, bang, bang. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, did you guys not hear that everyone was clear? And then they would be all cocky and gangster with me. We're like, you know what?
Gonna go home.
It's not worth dying over, so I would go home.
How far will a bullet travel? Depends on the bullet.
What's
the largest caliber machine gun that folks can generally keep on target? 22.
that can keep on target?
Yeah.
That's kind of an open-ended question. So I have several 9mm that are very smooth, like the MP5. The way it's
Yeah.
designed, it's very easy to keep on target. The Uzi we have, since it runs at a slower rate of speed, easy to keep on target. Now I'll say this: the one M16 we have, it's got a big, heavy barrel. I could keep that on target fairly well. After that,
Yeah.
it just gets tough. You know, I mean, the 308 stuff, almost impossible. I mean, we have some
Oh,
videos
God.
of us shooting the 308. First 2 rounds, maybe on target, everything else you're in the air.
Yeah. 308 like kicks like a mule too.
But like that's like you said, it's kind of an open-ended question because we have 9mm that are impossible to shoot because they just shoot so fast and they're so light.
Yes, Brock. Exactly. Stay safe. Stay on your own property. Don't go to ranges with strangers. That's ridiculous. Yes. Yes.
And then we have full auto stuff, 50 BMG. I could keep that on target all day because it's big and heavy and on a
It's
tripod.
also really slow.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also 60 pounds on a tripod. It doesn't move. So I guess that's kind of an odd question. I mean,
Well, it's not an odd
question, but it's
a
really hard to
legit
say.
question. It also just depends on the person too.
No, I will say we have
I'm gonna take them out.
we have an AR that we converted in 22 in full auto. That is by far the most fucking fun gun to shoot because one, it's like it hums, it fucking puts out ammo super quick, but zero recoil, and that you could sit there and punch out holes like that all day long. That's really cool. But what else? Any other questions you guys have before I jump? I personally got to go take a shower, get ready to leave. But anybody other have any questions? Oh yeah, Patty. So Shelby, I heard somebody say question: how far can a bullet go? A bullet can go far. Now, how much kinetic energy will it have at its tail end? That depends on the weapon. Depends on the weight of the bullet. Now, mind you, for example, a 308 have been used in the military for decades for long distance shooting for sniper rifles. 308 will probably kill somebody at 1,500 yards.
Careful about that.
Now, they have 50 BMG now which is like an anti-personnel weapon that they now start using for sniper rifles. That'll knock somebody down at 2 miles. I mean, the thing is, you can't even see that far. The show this weekend is in Monmouth. Can you hit a neighbor? I mean,
No.
I wouldn't want to.
Careful
Nope,
how you're
no,
answering that.
no. It comes down to a lot of different factors. A lot of it has to do with how much power the said weapon has, what's the weight of the bullet. I mean, yeah, because a 5.56, like in an AR platform, that'll go 800 yards. Problem is, it's a very, very small, lightweight bullet. Once it gets to a certain distance, I mean, it gets challenging because it can get affected by the wind very easily versus something like in a 50 BMG, which is a 700 grain bullet versus 55. It's like the difference of this coming at you versus a brick. So I guess there's so many different factors when it comes to ballistics. No problem, Candy. Yeah, see, space, that's the kind of stuff that I stopped going to outdoor ranges, especially when I'm with other people, my family members, my kids. I mean, I'm competent. I could keep myself safe, but last thing I want to do is see something happen to somebody that's with me, especially my children. So I stopped going to those ranges. And like you said, when I did go, I knew they opened at a certain time. I would go there literally right when they opened, knowing that most people wouldn't be there at that point. But yeah, we've had some crazy, fun, dangerous experiences, but it's all learning. I mean, it's great stuff. What else? It's now 9:17. I gotta get myself ready to get on the road, but wait for Kayla to get back in here so she could continue chit-chat with you guys. I'm excited come spring because last year we were busy doing a lot of projects. We didn't get to shoot a ton here on our property, but I know Kayla and I talked about finishing up a good tactical course on our property. My long distance range kind of got foobarred because of where we put the cows, but I do have another location on our property to get a range set up for long distance, probably about 800 yards, which for me, that's fucking plenty far enough. But what else is going on today, guys? This beautiful Friday. Oh yeah, I mean, Kayla and I love to do that kind of stuff, and we like the more tactical stuff. So like when we do our shooting, we set stuff up like targets, different distances, different obstacles we got to climb over, jump over, shoot around, make it more real life. So it's a lot of fun. The temperature today actually warmed up quite a bit, Sarah. It was 22 degrees this morning. It was like actually like summertime. But we got about 6 or so inches of snow last night. So I was out early this morning plowing so I could get that done before I leave. And yeah, Lori, I do have to drive. I am about 4.5 hours from where the show's at. So I want to be out here by 10. That way it'll get me there for 2:30, set up and then chill out until the show. Yeah, patty cakes, I feel for you. I know Kayla and I are in the same boat. I am teetering almost 2 weeks, and I'm just now getting this fucking cold out of me. And Kayla's about 4 or 5 days behind me. Well, I'm glad you took the step, Brenda, in 2021. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you continue practicing and training. Because I mean, there's so many people that we've talked to over the years that were anti. And then with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, they started getting involved. And one couple, very good friends with Kayla and I, they're older couple, Glennis and Harold, they bought their first gun. And we took them to the range, trained everything we had to do to make sure they were safe. They loved it. They went from like anti-gun to like, can we buy more? And I think they bought several from us since they started doing it because they saw that it wasn't such a crazy, spooky, scary, dangerous thing. It was actually something very fun and enjoyable to do once you do it the right way. We switched primarily to YouTube from TikTok for several reasons. One, the uncertainty of TikTok, where it's going. Two, we could do a lot more stuff on YouTube as far as what we do for a living, firearms, stuff like that, and never have to worry about getting restricted, where I couldn't even talk about it on TikTok. No, the show's not open today. Today's set up. The show's open tomorrow and Sunday.
All right.
All right. I'll let you talk to Kayla. I have to get showered up.
Well, I'm going to take a break, so I'll be going live on TikTok later for our walk. We'll take the boys for a walk then. And somebody asked, yes, so we switched our 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to YouTube. And then I just kind of randomly do TikTok. But this afternoon, I'll post it in the Discord. If you are a member here on YouTube or if you are subscribed on TikTok, I'll post in the Discord once I'm about to go live on TikTok for our little walk. So we will do that. It looks like we're going to get some sun today. So looking forward to getting a walk in. I would like to take some more medicine before I do that. So thank you, Catherine. But you guys have a fantastic day. It was awesome chatting with you. We'll see if we have some more eggs. We got to hear the egg song. I also love it. Like when you get to see this video later, look at how all the chickens like start like singing the egg song with Hen Stefani. It's like, I love it. Anyway, but you have a great day. Thank you, Stumpy. I'll see you guys this afternoon for our walk. And if you're not following me on TikTok, make sure you do. Make sure you go through my links here and follow all of my social media so you never have to miss a hike, chickens, cows, hatching some ducklings, gun talk. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.